Welcome back, second graders. So today we're going to be working on Eureka Module 4, Lesson 11. So let's go ahead and get started. So our objective today is we are going to represent subtraction with and without the decomposition of 110 as 10 ones with manipulatives. What that means is we are going to be subtracting, and sometimes we might have to unbundle a group of 10. So I'm going to show you what that means in a little bit. So let's go ahead and continue. So one of the most important things to remember in this lesson is that when you have 110, it is also 10 ones. So one big is equal to 10 littles, and it can go both ways. 10 littles equals one big equals 10 littles. Either way, they go back and forth. So just know that they are equal to each other. And then we're going to be working with subtraction again. So we have to know the word difference. Difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. And a number bond, we might be using those. And just remember, when you are subtracting, the whole goes first, and then you have a part and a part. You add the parts to make the whole, but sometimes a part is missing. So you have to subtract part from the whole. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at an application problem. So Shelby picks 35 oranges, 5 are rotten. How many of Shelby's oranges are not rotten? Don't you hate that when you go to the store and you pick up a bag of oranges or a little pack of strawberries, but there's some that are rotten on the inside? Well, let's figure out how many are not rotten. I'm going to do this by using a number bond. Now remember, number bonds can go upside down, sideways, so I made this number bond go sideways. And let's go ahead and put our whole on the top. She has 35 oranges. The whole is all the oranges all together, so she has 35 of those. Now part of those oranges are rotten. So I want to figure out what part is not rotten. So that's the question right there. So remember, to find the other part, I take the whole and I subtract the part. Well, this is 5 ones, take away 5 ones. So I can pretty much figure out that this one is 30, because 35 is 3 10s and 5 ones. So it's 30 plus 5. So 30 oranges are not rotten. So let's go ahead and change it a little bit. Now Rosa picks 35 oranges too, but 6 are rotten. How many of Rosa's oranges are not rotten? Well, when I have my number bond, you can see my number bonds going up and down now. I have 35 as my whole, and now I have 6 as my parts. So what is my other part? Now, this isn't as easy as 35 take away 5. So let's do some thinking here. Here's my number sentence. 35 take away 6. I know that 6 is 5 and 1. So let me think some more. Now I know that 35 take away 5 equals 30. So if I do this and I subtract these numbers right here, well, I know that 35 take away 5 equals 30. So I know that I just have to subtract 1 more from that answer. So if I take 30 take away 1, and then that would give me this other part. So that means my other part is 29. So Rosa has 29 oranges that are not rotten. Okay, so hopefully this problem just helped you start getting used to subtraction, because we've been doing addition for the last few lessons. Now we've got to go back to our subtraction brain, and then pretty soon you'll be doing both of them in the same lesson. So let's go ahead and see what we're going to be working on. So I have the number 48. Let's go ahead and show you what that looks like. I have 4 10s and I have 8 1s. So let's look at the rest of the problem now. 48, and I'm going to take away 6. Okay, now when we add, normally what we do is I would show you 48, and then we would draw 6 more down here, but we're not doing that. And the reason why we're not doing that is because this is subtraction. So what subtraction means is we take them away. We don't make a new number like we do with addition. In addition, we have one number, we make another number. With subtraction, we start with one number and then we take away. So I'm going to be taking these away. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. But before I do that, let's go ahead and line them up vertically. So I have 48, take away 6. So let's go ahead and take away 6. And there they go. So how many ones am I left with? I'm left with 2 ones, and I'm left with 4 tens. So that's kind of easy. I have 42. Now let's look at the next problem. I'm going to start with 35. So there's my 3 tens and my 5 ones. Now let's see what I'm going to subtract. I'm going to subtract 9. So let's go ahead and write that vertically so I can go ahead and figure that out. 35, take away 9. Okay, now I'm looking at this problem and I'm starting to see that I have 5 ones, but they want me to take away 9 ones. So what do I do? Is this problem impossible? No, it's not impossible because 35 as a whole is greater than 9, and I just need to take away a part of it, but how? Let me go ahead and show you something because this is just something that I want to remind you of. Okay, so here I am at the website brainingcamp.com, and it's a great website to show you exactly what a 10 should do. So here I have my 10, and I'm going to click on it, and look what's going to happen to my 10. If I have one 10, I can break it apart, and it becomes 10 ones. Okay, so did you guys see that magic? I have a 10, I break it apart, and it gives me 10 ones. Now look what happens when I have 10 ones. Now we've done this with addition, we group them and we make a 10. So look at that magic. I mean, when we have 10 ones, we can make a 10, but don't forget that it works the other way around. We can have one 10, and if we need to break it apart and we need to decompose it, I can unbundle it and it can make 10 ones. I'm going to show you again. So we have a 10. Now let's go ahead and break it apart. So let's go ahead and show you what that looks like when we're using it with subtraction. Okay, so I have 35, take away 9. So do you remember what I just showed you, how we break apart a 10? Well, let's go ahead and do that. So in order to do that, I need to move my 10 to my ones place. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it apart, and look at that, I have 10 ones. Now I can do 35 take away 9 because I have 9 ones to take away. So let's go ahead and take away 9. And there they go. So what am I left with now? I am left with 6 ones, and how many 10s am I left with? I'm left with 2 10s. So my answer is 26. So let's go ahead and look at the next one. I have 46. So here's my 40, and here's my 6 ones, and I'm going to take away 18. So let's line them up vertically and let's take away. Now I have 6 ones here and I need to take away 8. So remember, this problem is not impossible. I can still do it, but I need to unbundle a 10. So let's bring that 10 over and let's unbundle it. And now I have 10 ones, just like that. So now I can take away 8. So let's go ahead and take away 8. Okay, so how many am I left with? I'm left with 8 ones. Now let's look at our 10s. I have 3 10s left. Remember, one of my 10s I unbundled, so I used one of them, but I have 3 10s left, but I still have to subtract 18, so I have to subtract a 10. So I have to subtract a 10. So let's take away that 10, and what am I left with? 2 10s. So my answer is 28. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this problem right here. It says there are 63 problems on a math test. Tamara answered 48 problems correctly, but the rest were incorrect. How many problems did she answer incorrectly? Well, if I look at the test, I know that the test has 63 problems, and Tamara answered 48 problems correctly. Now the rest she got wrong. And if you look at my tape diagram, she didn't miss that many. She got more right than wrong, right? But we have to figure out this part. Let's write it vertically, and then let's go ahead and take out our materials and let's do our tens and our ones. So I'm going to start with 63. I have 6 tens and 3 ones. Now let's take away 48. Now it's kind of hard to take away 8 ones when I only have 3. So what do I have to do? I have to unbundle. So let's go ahead and move my 10 over and let's make 10 ones. So now we can subtract 8. So there goes 8 ones. And what am I left with? I'm left with 5 ones. Now I started with 6 tens and I have 5 now. And that's because I used a 10 here, but I still have to take away 4. So let's go ahead and take away 4. And that leaves me with 110. So 63 take away 48 equals 15. Now remember, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm here to help you. Our next lesson is really going to help you put things together so that way this is a little easier for you. So before we continue, let's go ahead and show you what you're going to do on Seesaw today. Okay, so here's your Seesaw assignment. You have a few of these. I've already put the place value chips on there for you. So you have 25, take away 5. Well, just use your magic marker or one of your tools and take away 5 of those. And then what are you left with? You're going to count your ones and your tens and you're going to put the answer there. And then the next one is 44, take away 28. Now you notice that you have more ones to take away. So I want you to show me that you would rebundle. Just draw a line there and then draw your new ones. And when you draw your new ones, you can just draw a new one kind of like this. And remember to draw your new ones and then just kind of tell me what you have left. And then your next one is 67, take away 22. I have 7, take away 2. So I know I don't have to take apart a bundle there. And then on your last one, 85, take away 38, you will have to take apart a bundle of 10, but just try it out and let's see how you do. And that's it. So other than that, remember, if you guys are having any problems, let me know and we'll work through this together and we'll talk to you later. Bye.